The public beta of DaVinci Resolve 20 has just been released. We'll tell you what's new and show you how it works. Here's our roundup of the new features in the color page. There will be on-screen text to indicate free and studio-only features. We're starting big. Magic Mask version 2. This is not simply an update, this is a complete redesign that overhauls the first version. The interface will look similar, but no longer has separate tabs for tracking objects and people. In the previous version of Magic Mask, objects were chosen by drawing strokes. In version 2, a simple click is all that is needed. Like before, additional clicks can be used to include additional objects in your mask, and subtractive clicks can be used to exclude objects that you do not wish to be included in your mask. The subtractive picker can be temporarily enabled by holding down on Option or Alt, or by selecting the subtractive picker tool found here. The new method of object selection excels with easily identifiable objects like faces or items of clothing. For more abstract objects, you might find that the location of your click impacts Resolve's object identification. In version 1, a long stroke would have helped Resolve to identify complex objects, but in version 2, it's not a problem, you can just use as many clicks as you need. Erroneous clicks can be deleted using the controls in the dock, or by selecting the click and hitting delete on your keyboard. I'm going to use Magic Mask in its higher quality mode. Like before, your Magic Mask must be tracked before use. Let's check out the difference between Magic Mask version 1 and 2. Version 1 was already amazing. Version 2 seems to produce similar masks. Of note though is that version 2 has much better stability. In this example, version 1 includes part of the background in the mask. Version 2 does not. Here's another example. The bird and pole can be selected with just 2 clicks. The quality of mask available with so little work is incredible. If there are issues with the Magic Mask, they can be addressed using Magic Mask version 2's inbuilt paint tools. Unlike the picker used to build the Magic Mask, these do not have any effect on the generation of the Magic Mask, and they cannot be tracked into the image. Each paint stroke lasts only 1 frame. This tool is useful for cleaning up minor issues with the mask. Progressing through the clip frame by frame using the cursor keys makes it easy to spot errors and paint them out. Now this mask is pretty perfect, so there's nothing for me to fix. But just so I can demonstrate the tools, you can paint additional bits in, or you can paint parts out. You can change the size of the brush here, or alternatively, if you hold down on Command on Mac or Alt on Windows, you can change the size of the brush by dragging up or down. A reminder that these strokes only last a single frame. If I go forwards or backwards a single frame, those strokes will disappear. There's additional controls in the triple dot menu. These controls are useful for things like clearing paint strokes. These controls here can be used to delete or regenerate Magic Mask data. Here's 2 scenarios where that might be helpful. 1, if you're applying a Magic Mask to a clip that has been updated, perhaps VFX plates, deleting the tracks and then retracking them is a helpful feature to have. 2, in past you might have had issues with your Magic Mask cache getting lost. Well, the ability to trigger the regeneration of Magic Mask not just on the currently selected clip, but on all clips in your timeline will no doubt put your mind at ease. When the first Magic Mask was introduced, it genuinely deserved the word magic in its name. It not only saved time on existing workflows, but enabled new workflows. Magic Mask version 2 is a very welcome revision of a very powerful tool. Remember, this is just the first version. We expect the tool will be refined throughout the public beta. Better paint tools and an easier way to select large and complex objects would be great improvements to see. Finally, if you need to use the old Magic Mask, it is still accessible in the triple dot menu. This allows backwards compatibility, and while this feature is still in beta, it's good to know that the old tool is still available. Depth Map has also received considerable development, although not enough to be called version 2. Apply it to any clip and you will see immediately how much better the quality is compared to the previous Depth Map. Let's look at how much fine detail it captures. It's fun playing with the isolation controls. It further highlights how much more detail the Depth Map contains. To drive the point home, here's a comparison. The old depth map is on the left, the new on the right. The difference is astonishing. The new depth map excels in a number of ways. For example, it correctly identifies the gap between his arm and his body. Here's another example. I'm using depth map to isolate the foreground from the background. It does an awesome job of capturing the detail in the foliage, Don't forget, if your computer struggles to run this effect, turning on the Smart Render Cache will automatically mark computationally intensive nodes like this for caching. Another already powerful tool that is now even more powerful. Before we continue, can we show you where we find music for our videos? Most library music websites feature filters that allow you to search by mood, genre, and instrumentation. Even then, it can still be hard finding the right music for your edit. Audiio has two incredible AI assistants that can help. First, Hans AI. Simply describe your video or describe the type of music you're looking for, and Hans will suggest 6 tracks that might fit. Second, Link Match AI. It's common to take inspiration from commercial music. If you've heard a song you like, provide Link Match with a link so it can listen. It will search Audio's own royalty-free library and suggest similar tracks that you can actually use. We love it when AI is used to enhance your creativity rather than replace it. Audiio has a ton of other features you'll love, but we think your favorite feature will be the incredible price. Using our discount code, you can get an entire year of Audiio for just $60. A big thank you to Audiio for supporting our videos. Resolve has an incredible suite of secondary color correction tools that allow you to isolate different parts of the image. There's a new tool, introducing the Chroma Warper. There are some basic similarities with the hue versus hue tool in that it allows you to isolate a part of the image based on its hue and then change its hue. There are, however, key differences. Let us show you how it operates. By default, the picker is equipped when you open this tool. Hovering over the image helps you to understand the trace displayed in the tool's interface. Control points can be created by clicking on the viewer or in the tool itself. For the sake of clarity, I'll create my control points in the tool. Simply click and drag. I'm dragging towards green. I know that's a particularly unpleasant change I'm making to the image, but it's great for demonstration. The first control point represents the color in the image I'm manipulating. The second control point represents the color that I'm changing those colors to. Let's adjust that chroma warp. Instead of pushing those skin tones towards green, I'm going to push them towards blue. Beforehand, the adjustment was primarily affecting the skin tones in the image, but now it's affecting the majority of the image. As mentioned, this trace shows the distribution of colors in the image. Notice how the stroke that we've drawn passes through most of the colors in this scene? You can think of this tool as being like a bulldozer. Anything that gets in its way is going to get pushed into one big old heap of dirt. Currently, the tool is in normal mode. This button here converts this stroke into point-to-point mode. Now, instead of working like a bulldozer, it operates like a helicopter airlift. Those colors are carefully picked up and moved over here. Whether you are in normal mode or point-to-point mode, you can change the size of the stroke. That's done using this chroma range slider. You'll see it changes the width of the point or stroke in the tool. You can use that to fine-tune how broad your color selection is. Point-to-point mode is great for specific adjustments. Normal mode can be helpful for broader adjustments as it's harder to break the image. That's thanks to its broader approach to what colors in the image get adjusted. If there's a particular color range in the image that you want to protect and exclude from your adjustments, you can use the pin tool. Again, you can add pins either by clicking in the viewer with the picker enabled or by clicking in the tool itself. Again, chroma range changes the size of the tool. Now, when using the normal stroke mode, I can make large changes to colors in the image, but protect intermediate colors that would otherwise get swept up by the bulldozer. Here's 2 other quick examples. I can use the Chroma Warper tool to quickly give the sky a boost. In this next image, I shall use Chroma Warper to make the grass greener, and then to give the sky a little warmth. Don't forget about these other controls. The exposure slider is self-explanatory. These other controls down here allow you to fine-tune the colors selected by your strokes. Finally, here's a roundup of other small but mighty improvements in the color page. Remote monitoring has received some upgrades. It's now possible to stream and monitor H.265 422 on supported Mac OS and NVIDIA systems. Previously, H.265 was available, but only in 420. You can now also send your viewer overlays out. Here's the option to enable that. It allows other people to see things like your window controls. When you're trying to give someone directions about needed adjustments, it helps to be able to see exactly what they are seeing. Supports ACES 2.0. It's selected by default when you turn on ACES color management. You can select older versions of ACES using these drop-downs. In previous versions of Resolve, when multi-user collaboration was enabled on projects, it was not always possible to access LUT and color space options when right-clicking on clips in the color page. Great news, that's now fixed. You can now access media pool, LUT, and color space context options in multi-user projects. Great news, the color page now has OpenColor I/O support. There's 4 new effects in the effects browser for applying various OCIO operations. The edit and cut page received updated UIs for editing vertical content. Well, so did the color page. The vertical UI is enabled automatically when you load a timeline that uses a vertical resolution. It's now possible to create PDF reports of light levels in HDR content. This new feature is accessed here. Finally, if you are an advanced panel user, you can now access specific node layers. There's improved sensitivity for lift, gamma, and gain rings on the micro panel. And if you're using the new micro panel, there's a new pop-up dialog to manage Bluetooth connected control panels. So many incredible improvements. And the cost? Absolutely nothing. Yes, some of these features require a studio license, but there's no additional fee that you need to pay to upgrade to version 20. With everything that has been added, it's worth asking, are you still using another editing program like Premiere, Avid, or Final Cut Pro? What are you waiting for? Come give Resolve a try. If you're looking for a guide to help you transition your existing skill set, please follow the link in the description to learn more about our course and get a discount. The DaVinci Resolve version 20 public beta is available to download right now. Don't forget, this is a beta. These features will change and improve. These are just some of the features on the color page. Go watch our 3 other videos to learn what's new on the color page, the Fusion page, and in the world of audio. Other educators like Casey Farris, Darren Moston, Mr. Alex Tech, and Patrick Sterling will have their own videos out about version 20. We'll put links in the video. Please go check out their videos, as I'm sure they'll cover stuff that we've missed. A big thanks to Audiio for sponsoring this video. Supporting our sponsors is an excellent way of supporting our channel. Give a like, share it with your fellow editors, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.